Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from Shawnee, Oklahoma. So, there's been some discussion since the last video I made about the use of direct energy weapons and the fires in the Pacific Northwest. Now, I haven't really done a video on direct energy weapons. There is this whole kind of subgroup of people on the interwebs who think that the fires in California that have been going on just pretty much all my life, but have been getting worse and worse through the last few years, especially the last 3 or 4 years since the election, right? Since the uprising, as it were, since the current unpleasantness started. And many people think that it's the deep state or even, Trump himself or somebody in the government who's using some kind of, I guess, airplane mounted or satellite weapon, and they point this direct energy weapon from, I don't know, the secret base on the moon, and they cause some kind of fire. Now, I'm not belittling this idea. I'm just saying that every video I've ever seen that's supposed to show this happening could easily be faked. I have not heard any corroborating evidence. I don't even think that Alex Jones will touch this with a 10-foot pole. Now, having said that, the video I did really wasn't about past years. It's about what's been going on in the last 3 or 4 days, and specifically what's been going on in Oregon, as it were. I know I labeled the video West Coast Fires. Oregon's on the West Coast. I wasn't intending to try to spark some discussion about direct energy weapons, but if you want to have the discussion, I will. I've been into it, up one side and down the other. I have swam across the great vastness of information on this topic, and I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying it wasn't enough for me to even really do a coffee talk on. I might have done a coffee talk on it early on, maybe. I'd have to go back and look. I don't know. But I'm not a believer. And unfortunately, some of the direct energy weapon people have in common with Antifa. With Q people, excuse me, didn't mean to disparage you, but one of the things that Q people, flat earthers, and direct energy weapon people have in common is that they can be quite abrasive and annoying. Like, they're demanding their right, and you shut up, and you just accept that we're right. Rah! And I just have a real problem with people like that. I really, really do. You didn't convince me. I went down the bunny rabbit hole, couldn't find light at the end of the tunnel, okay? That's me. Maybe you did. Maybe you're convinced. Feel free to be convinced. Doesn't mean I have to be convinced, correct? Convince me or, hit the road, Jack. You're not going to bully me into believing your idea. So, now, having said that, I'm not passing judgment on what happened in California. I don't got people on the ground in California. I ain't from California. I've avoided California like the plague most of my life. I only went there recently to collect money in casinos as a musician on tour. And even then, I hated it because I had to take a revolver because everything else was illegal, and I had to lock the ammo in one container and the gun in another and keep it locked in my trunk. And that was my only way of having a gun while I was on the road playing music in California. But, so, having said that, what I can tell you is going on in Oregon is that multiple sources, both people I know, people in authority, like county sheriffs and police officers in small municipalities, and, small town community, I won't call them militias, we'll call them community watches, are alive on the internet where these fires are going, they're telling you, we see people setting fires. We see Antifa-looking people setting fires. We see people who don't belong here, who aren't from our community, and they are running around setting fires. And this is happening all over Oregon. So I get quite annoyed at people who, I guess maybe your theory's got enough holes in it from direct energy weapons, that you feel the need to just try to bully your way around it, accuse me of not doing my proper research. My proper research tells me eyewitnesses. Yeah, don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what some 2-bit video on the internet says is happening, right? I'm telling you, there are people on the ground. Look in the comments section below. There are people, not just on this video, go to the other video I did and look on there. There's eyewitness testimony of people that are telling you, we see people starting the Oregon fires. They're not natural. They're not in a place where natural fire burns. And these are not direct energy weapons. There's nobody on the internet that I can find saying Oregon fires are being caused by direct energy weapons. I saw them. That's happening down in California. I guess they got better weed down there. But, you know, I can't find proof that direct energy weapons are being used, and there's no proof in Oregon they're being used, and there's lots and lots of evidentiary, piles of evidence here, folks, that these are arsons. Now, are they related? Well, I don't really believe in coincidences. They're happening in multiple locations. They're timed. This is a synchronized arson attack on the state of Oregon. And you direct energy weapon people, just, talk about what's going on in California, because you don't know what you're talking about in Oregon. You just don't. We got witnesses saying people are doing this, not some magic space beam. All right, God save our republic.